Hey there, Corporate Misfits. Brittany Darrington here, and welcome to episode 11 of the Corporate Misfit podcast. So, I'm going to talk about something that every entrepreneur has to experience. Every business owner has this in common, and that one thing is taxes. No matter what industry you're in, no matter if you're a sole proprietor, if you're an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp, we all have business taxes that we have to take care of on either March 15th, April 15th, or if you extended it all the way until September. Now, if you're anything like me, I became best friends with my accountant the first year I had to file my business taxes. I was like, what the heck is this? Why is it so confusing? And how do you do it? Ultimately, I became a queen of writing things off, and I made sure to gain education and exposure to knowing what I can actually write off in my business so I can take advantage of some of the things that the IRS provides.
You're listening to the Corporate Misfit podcast with Brittany Darrington, where female entrepreneurs can get powerful tips and advice on how to start, launch, and grow their business.
Now, if you're just tuning in, I want to hear from you. So go ahead and head over to iTunes, rate us, and subscribe, and let me know what are your favorite takeaways from today's episode. Okay, so talking about the IRS, and also known as Uncle Sam, is actually never fun. But I will tell you, when you identify ways to save money within your business, you actually get excited about some of these advantages that the IRS has. Okay, so today's episode is for the aspiring entrepreneur and even the established entrepreneur. And I also want you to keep in mind that each legal entity setups might have slightly different rules for some deductions. So I want you to take in what I'm saying, but I also want you to go back and check your entity to see if you were able to write off some of the things that I'm going to share with you today. Now, if you're just starting your business and you are looking for steps and guidance on how to get started efficiently, effectively, and ultimately become profitable, then you'll definitely want to join me at my upcoming live webinar, which is free, on how to start and launch an online business from scratch in 60 days. In this training, I'm going to share with you a few secrets on how you can ethically attract over 6 to 7 figures of business from your competitors for less than $100. I'm also going to help you with business cloning and how you can clone a proven business system within 30 days or less. And lastly, I'm going to help you to identify who your ideal customers are and find ways for you to be able to attract your ideal customers without having to start from scratch and trying to figure out how to get them. All right, so I hope to see you, and you can find that link within the bio, or you can go to brittanydarrington.com and sign up for our new and upcoming webinar. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about those business write-offs. The first write-off that a lot of people forget to take advantage of, especially if you're just getting started, is your car or truck expenses. So most small businesses use a vehicle such as a car or a light truck or even a van. And the cost of operating the vehicle for the business is deductible only if there are required records to prove business use is being done with your car. So in deducting costs, you need to keep records of the cost, the gasoline, the oil changes, and any maintenance that you have to get done on your car. And I want you to keep all the receipts and all the records of that, and also keep track of maybe the mileages that you are spending whenever you are using your car for business, so that you can ultimately write that off at the end of the year or when you file your taxes. So here are some great products that I use to help keep track of my miles. I use Mile IQ, which allows you to be able to have a mile tracker, and every time you get into the car and you have any sort of movement, it will then ask you if you are using these miles for personal or for business. I usually go ahead and select business whenever I'm using it for business, and it allows me to keep track every single day of how many miles I am using for business. So to get this product, you can get 20% off by clicking the link that I have provided in today's show notes. And this will allow you to be able to get Mile IQ at a 20% discount. Thank you so much, Mile IQ. All right, now let's talk about rent and business property. So if you are renting a space, or if you have an office or storefront or a factory or any other type of facility, it is fully deductible. Just make sure you're holding onto your receipts. So then when you get with your accountant, or if you are filing your taxes on your own, you can go back and cross-reference your documents. All right, the third write off that a lot of entrepreneurs forget about is salaries and wages and contract workers. So many small businesses use independent contractors to meet their labor needs. The cost of such contract labor is deductible, but I want you to be sure that you issue a form that is called a 1099 to any contractor receiving more than $600 from your business. That is how it's going to be deductible. So if you are using a credit card or a PayPal, you still want to issue a 1099 to your contractor so that you can write this off. All right, now let's talk about mortgages. So, businesses that own real estate can fully deduct mortgage interest. Unlike interest on your personal residence, there is no cap on the size of loan on which interest can be claimed. Now, here's one of my other favorite things about being able to write off taxes. You can write off your legal and professional fees. So, the really cool part is it's fully deductible. So, when I use my accountant, all of my services and all of the charges that we have with that person, we write it off at the end of the year. And same thing with my attorney. So that's a really great part when you are running a business. You are able to write off a lot of your legal fees. Now, you'll want to check with your accountant to see which legal fees you can write off, but I will tell you most of them are deductible. Now, advertising. Now, this is something that a lot of people invest in, whether that be Instagram, Facebook, or Pinterest ads, whatever it may be. There is a lot of advertising that's going on, but a lot of entrepreneurs are not writing this off. So I want you to keep inventory of all of your receipts that you use for advertising, and I want you to submit them because it can be fully deductible if it is pertaining to your business and business development. Okay, so now let's talk about traveling because a lot of us do travel for our business, and sometimes we even have people who work from anywhere. So they are remote and they're going to coffee shops or whatever it may be. You want to be able, if you're traveling for your business, you want to be able to write that off. And even if a staff member is traveling, that is also considered a write off. So I want you to keep track of your transportation, such as your airfare, any hotels, Airbnbs, any Ubers, things along those lines, because that is deductible. Now, I will tell you that you want to go and check out the IRS publication 463 to claim any travel deductions. So, if you're not familiar with what is considered a travel deduction, then I want you to go check out the IRS publication 463. And I'll have this in my actual show notes so that you can go directly to it. All right. Now, here is one of my favorites because I do take a lot of people out to eat and I do a lot of entertainment in the type of business that I run within the Corporate Misfit Club. So, meals and entertainment is something that you can also deduct. Now, this is usually deductible up to 50%. So, just be aware of that. But if you have a business lunch or if you have a meeting where you have to buy coffee, or if you have events like what I have, where I have a lot of meals and a lot of entertainment associated with what I'm doing, then you can write off 50% of that. So I always look at it as if I put in 50%, Uncle Sam is also going to write off 50% for me. So look at that deduction and make sure that you also go back to the IRS publication 463 and identify what is considered meals and entertainment before you start trying to write everything off and submit it to your accountant or submit it yourself. So now here are a few bonuses. This usually will relate to people who have offices and in certain types of industries, but I want to reference them just in case you are able to take advantage of this so that you can get the most on your write-offs within your business. So the first one is utilities. So electricity in your facility is fully deductible, and other utility costs include your cell phone charges. And even if you claim a home office deduction, you can still write off some of the phone charges that are associated with your home phone. Now, the next one is insurance. I know a lot of businesses who have general policies or have insurance on their business. And so this is something that you can also write off. So the cost of your business owner's policy, whether that be a malpractice coverage or the business continuation insurance, it is fully deductible. Okay, so the last bonus is commissions. So I have found out through my accountant, and again, I want you to go and do your research and check and see if that works for you, but I am able to write off my affiliate commissions. So whenever I work with another business and I get affiliate commissions, I'm able to write that off, and you should be able to too, depending on your entity. And again, go back and check with your accountant and see if that's doable based off of the type of commission that you're receiving. All right, there, corporate misfits. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you're as excited as I am about these tax write-offs that you could take advantage of, and you will be able to save money ultimately at the end of the year.
If you've enjoyed today's episode of the Corporate Misfit Podcast, we invite you to check out the Corporate Misfit Club. The Corporate Misfit Club is the essential resource for female entrepreneurs who are looking to start or grow a business they actually love. Whether you are a seasoned entrepreneur in your startup phase or simply thinking about taking the leap into entrepreneurship, we've got your back, girl. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive members-only discount perks, and unlimited tools. We also have a supportive community of women where our members share stories, experiences, their wins, and business tips. The Corporate Misfit Club is the perfect place to be to start, launch, or grow a business. So check it out at corporatemisfitclub.com.